Welcome back to Well Redneck Academy. This is your resident Well Redneck, Sean. Today I want to talk to you about a book called Worth Fighting For by Rory Fanning. It's dedicated to Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman was a football player, NFL star, and he walked away from his NFL contract, multi-million-dollar football contract, to join the Army shortly after 9/11. Rory was in Ranger School with Pat Tillman, got to know Pat and Pat's brother Kevin in Ranger School. Pat Tillman got sent to Afghanistan and was killed there by friendly fire in a situation he never should have been put in to begin with. To make that situation 100 times worse, the Army tried to cover it up and act like Tillman wasn't killed by friendly fire at all. They went so far as to even burn the notebook that Tillman had written notes in about his experiences over there. When it came out that Tillman had been killed by friendly fire, there was a big stink. And by that time, Rory Fanning was already on his way out of the Army. He became a conscientious objector as a U.S. Army Ranger, which is not a common thing to do. And before Pat Tillman died, he and his brother Kevin had been the only Rangers that had been kind and supportive of Rory's conscientious objector status. So that meant a lot to Fanning, and when he found out that Tillman had been killed, it kind of broke his heart. The Army let Rory Fanning go, and Fanning didn't really know what to do with himself at that time, but he decided to walk across America to raise awareness about Pat Tillman and to raise money for the Pat Tillman Foundation. And this book, Worth Fighting For, is about that walk from Virginia to California. What I was struck by most in the book, in addition to learning more about Tillman's situation, was the kindness of all the folks that Fanning encountered as he walked across the United States. The folks, obviously, they pitched in and gave a little money for the Tillman Foundation, but they also pitched in a lot and gave Fanning food and a place to sleep for the night, and gave him an opportunity to pitch in with what they were up to for a few hours and feel like a normal person for a little while. And he thoroughly enjoyed that, and it meant a lot to him. And you catch that as you read the book. It's a heartwarming story. One of the episodes that stuck with me the most was about a guy that Fanning met in Memphis. There was a Donald's Donuts, an independent donut shop in Memphis, where Fanning went, and he met a guy, a Marine named Max. And Max was in his 80s when Rory met him, and he had been doing some volunteer work at the donut shop for a while. The lady that owned the donut shop was Cambodian, and she was having a little trouble keeping the shop going, some language barrier issues and that kind of thing. And Max pitched in and helped her, and he worked there basically full time for years, and he never took a dime of payment from her. And when Fanning got to know him a little bit there, he asked him why he did that, why he was working so much there and not even asking for payment. Max said he was paying his dues. And if you know about U.S. history in Cambodia, you might have some idea what he was talking about. Max had been a Marine in Vietnam and in Cambodia, and our history over there is pretty rough. Kissinger, the bombings in Cambodia in support of our war in Vietnam, they kind of ravaged that country and really paved the way for all the atrocities that happened under Pol Pot. So that's what Max was referring to when he said he was paying his dues, trying to help out. Obviously, there's a lot of difficult history that Fanning is bringing up as he goes across the United States and kind of wrestling with the Tillman story and with America's story. It kind of makes me wonder when I hear people talking about making America great, what when they say make America great again, when are we talking about? When was that? Because I've read some other books by veterans. War is a Racket by General Smedley Butler. Hideous Dream by Stan Goff, who was Special Operations NCO in Vietnam and all through the 80s and then to the 90s in Haiti. And none of these guys seem to have a real clear idea of when America was great. They're talking about a bunch of things that we've been up to that we shouldn't have been up to, and what we can maybe do to try to turn that around. Worth Fighting For doesn't have a Hollywood ending. It's not a Forrest Gump kind of story, but it's a story well worth reading, and I think it'll change your life. It changed my life. It encouraged me after I read the book. It inspired me to join Veterans for Peace. And I've had an opportunity to raise a few bucks for that organization, and it makes me feel a little bit more like I'm doing something to make the world a safer place, like what Tillman was trying to do. If you're interested in digging deeper into this book, or if you've already read the book and you've got some thoughts on it, please share them in the comments below. I'd love to get a dialogue going about veterans and our place in making the world a safer place, and what kind of greatness we think America can really achieve. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.